it's set.
Let's go?
Two, and we are going. Nigeria here with the man who is forever working and somehow found time to be in the new Green Lantern film. Jimmi Simpson. Jimmy, how you doing today?
I'm good. How you doing, man? I
Good.
love that shirt.
Thank you. Appreciate
That
it.
gives me good feelings.
I appreciate it. So listen, there's an interesting element to this film that I'm sure a lot of fans are going to be intrigued about.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Green Arrow's allegiance and friendship to, well, the original Green Lantern at this point. Could you tell us a little bit about what may be potentially brewing up between the Green Arrow and Hal Jordan?
Well, I mean, Hal and Ollie are thick as thieves.
Yeah.
And it's a deep relationship, depth and layers, and all of a sudden John Stewart shows up, and it really kind of throws Ollie for a loop, because not only is it someone new, but it's not Hal. So where is Hal?
Yeah.
So yeah, he's on his back foot at first with John Stewart, but you know, it's his job, and he's got to save the universe, and so he trains him, and then they actually get along.
Yeah.
Not at first, but it's, you know, me and Aldous we just had a blast watching our stuff because we didn't work together, obviously. And like when I saw Aldous, I said, it's like we recorded it together because we're just his stuff is so tight, and it develops into like he says, like a buddy pick.
Yeah. So with that loyalty, sort of, and you talked about eventually gaining the trust, and then decided to take him under his wing to train him.
Yeah.
What was sort of that arc, and could you talk about your performance in that, you know, and that emotional response of saying, "Hey, you're not Hal," but then you decide to accept him, and then you decide to understand that he was chosen to be the new ring bearer, shall I say? But could you talk about your performance and how that kind of correlates to your character's arc?
Yeah, well, it's something. What did you say? What was your question? Sorry, I just saw my friend and I completely got distracted. Tell me again what was your question.
All right, so with your character not so being so welcoming at first and reserved, and then deciding to take him under his wing, and then deciding to train him, and understanding that he was chosen and this was his responsibility, sort of your performance along with that emotional art, like how did you kind of work through the emotions in terms of everything that's happening?
Well, I mean, it's all there on the page. They just knocked it out of the park with the script.
Yeah.
But they were also really hands-on. So again, I wasn't with Aldous.
Yeah.
So they just kind of kept guiding me.
Yeah.
Like, you're kind of projecting what you hope the other actor is doing.
Yeah.
And Aldous was doing everything I was hoping he was doing.
That's awesome.
And so it's kind of weird. It's like acting with a green screen.
Yeah.
You know, it's nothing is there. And I'm having this relationship with you, and you're upsetting me. And so really with voice acting like that, you really got to lean on the word of the directors and the writers. They're the only ones who can see it, hear it. Yeah.
You excited for fans to check out the world premiere tonight?
Oh my God, you're gonna love it. The ending's gonna blow your mind.
Well, you heard it here first. Thank you so much, Jimmy. Have a good rest of your car, man.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, man.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Jimmy, how you doing? Hey, let me get your frame. Hey.
I hope you guys are better than the last fucking table, right? You know, right?
I don't know what it is, man.
The man who fell to earth. Great job.
Oh, thanks.
Just want to hit him, don't you?
Yeah, I'm good. So, how you guys doing?
How you doing?
Yeah? You glad to be back?
What was your approach to Green Arrow?
Well, figure out who Green Arrow is. I hadn't been very educated in Arrow. I've always loved Lantern deeply, and I knew quite a bit about him, but when I got the script, that's when I really started researching Ollie. And gosh, I just loved everything I read. It was one of the most compelling, maybe not relatable superhero genesis stories. It comes from such a human, in making money and millionaire and achieve success, or depending on the legend, the archaeologist, but then gives it all up to be a benevolent savior of the universe, and doesn't even have any really magical powers, just mastery, which is a real superhuman power. And I'm always impressed when someone I know masters something. So it's really cool. I think he's a great example.
Are you like intentionally picking like these asshole roles, man? Or was it just like?
Yeah, that's what my mother asks me all the time. But here's the funny thing. This is the least dick I've played in about 5 years. Like, this is a good guy, man.
Yeah.
For me, this is a great guy.
I have Ollie McFoyle then.
That's good. It was essential. Thank you.
I was gonna say, one of the kind of earliest things I remember seeing you in was in Psych.
Oh, sure.
Mary.
Yeah.
And I remember then seeing you in Westworld and being like, oh my god, it's Mary. And
Oh, yeah, Mary
I have
Lately.
I have this thing with my brother where every time we see you in anything, we're like, it's Mary Lately. And
good.
That fandom is so kind of dedicated to that show. How do you move through your career with these iconic characters? Do you find that is defining? I mean, you just said you played assholes now for the last 5 years. Is there a variation that you are trying to seek out? Do you feel that limits you, or is it kind of welcoming to be remembered for these roles?
Yeah, no, I mean, you don't really choose. You don't really get to pick a path. I chose what I wanted to do, and I thought I would be doing theater. By the way, my name is Mary. My father's name is Mary. My father's before his name is Mary, and my father before him is Craig.
Yes.
Thank you. Such a good line.
That is my comfort show. Is
Yeah,
Psych. I watch it
James
all
Roday
the
is
time. Absolutely brilliant.
one of my best friends.
Oh my God,
and he's
amazing.
everything that you would hope. He's the sweetest peach. But yeah, no, I find interesting, troubled, flawed characters really fun to play. Luckily. And normally you kind of get pigeonholed, and I've been. Yeah, I play a lot of assholes, but I get to play a lot of different things. And so someone saying, they like me in Westworld and It's Always Sunny, I mean, you couldn't get more opposing performances.
Right.
And so I love that people respond to it. And Mary Lightly is one of my favorite parts.
Is there I'm sorry, go ahead.
For Ollie's supposed to be older and his friend, he's like John's mentor.
Mm-hmm.
When you're doing the voice acting for that, how do you age with your voice?
I'm older than him. Yeah. No, that's fine.
By being old.
But yeah. But it's there's all kinds of you can apply affectations with age you're going to be a little less lubricated, so you just have a little bit of a drier scratch to your throat. There's all kinds of little tricks depending on whatever the adjustment is you're looking to make.
He's kind of grizzled in some of the series where he's supposed to be the older, wiser, harder.
Yeah, he's less grizzled. Yeah.
What do you like about this character versus other, other versions of this character that might have been in this medium, this particular Green Arrow?
Why is our Green Arrow better? Let me think.
Because you voice him? Is that the answer?
Yes, the man playing him is great. No, that's probably the least he's got going for him is that I'm playing him. But I think that the writers just really put together such a the way he's able to cut the tension, diffuse tension, and it's such a pretty tense story that we share with you with an incredible, crazy, surprising ending. But it's wait, what were we saying?
What makes this character?
Oh, right. Yeah, so I just feel like they really brought together that quality of cutting this tension of this huge story with ooh, hot girl's a bit much, he always says the right thing to keep everybody cool, which is pretty arrowy, but I feel like they nail it best in these guys.
Did you do research prior to this, or did you trust the writing to create your character?
I trusted the writing. I didn't research too much other executions. and performances, but I did research the genesis of the character and the history and the different legends of Ollie. And that was just great. I mean, just the more you know about something you're playing, the more kind of instinctual the choices you make will be, the more specific to that person once you know more about them. Obviously, it's acting, but yeah.
How are you with the bow and arrow?
I could probably get three out of the bullseye. I mean, I went to camp like every summer, so I have some time with the soft-ended arrows. How about you?
Oh, very little.
Okay.
My daughter picked it up for a little bit.
Oh, that's soft.
Hunger Games, all that.
Oh, sure.
So I played. Yeah, didn't really work.
Yeah, I'm surprised to let kids play with those these days.
Well, they're not sharp.
Oh, yeah.
She did put like a hole through our shed. We went through there. It's still there.
That's a good memory.
What's the kind of most challenging part about voice acting compared to the stuff that you've done? Because you said you wanted to do theater, you thought you'd be doing theater.
Yeah, and I do. Yeah.
In the different muscles, Elvis was saying that it's training different muscles. So I guess what was the most challenging thing for you about training that?
It's when you're going to shoot a scene with other actors, there's this idea of this little magic, this chemistry that's going to happen as you're revealing your choices, and then they reveal a choice that you really weren't expecting, and then that causes you to have just this improvised choice, and that's often what I think the takes they take, where it's like something magical is happening and it's right now. And with this, you need to come in with kind of a projection of what the other actor is doing, because I never met Elvis until today. None of us have spent any time with each other, and so I was just projecting this idea of what I hoped he was doing, and then the result was he was doing what I was hoping he was doing. And I've had a lot of animated jobs where that's not quite the case.
Is that down to the writing, do you think? The writing being...
Down to the writing, the directing. The directing is essential. I don't think people talk about voiceover directors that much, but they are the guy. They are everything. You have your choices and you have your execution, but they're telling you what everyone else is doing, the tone, the moment. So director is huge. Yeah, voice director.
What would you like to do with that character, like down the road, if you're offered to help work on a screenplay for the next project with Ollie? What would you like to see Ollie do?
That's a great question. I haven't really thought about that. I suppose there's something where, honestly, I wouldn't mind Ollie being a little bit more exposed to the world. All the other superheroes kind of get the hype, and because I'm so fascinated with the fact that Ollie isn't magical, I would love to see him celebrated by humans in a kind of a larger capacity, the way a Superman or a Batman or whoever, and recognized simply because he is so human, because he's doing it all himself, because it's mastery, and I don't know, see where that takes people.
Justice League picture next year.
Say again?
If they do a Justice League picture next year,
I would be. Of course. Yeah.
reading Justice League comics, so I'm used to the Green Arrow always being orange. But I know because of the way films and the superhero powers are with the kids and stuff.
Naturally.
If you think about Hawkeye,
Yeah. Agreed.
Sorry, I just
Yeah, I love it. Yay! Aeronerdism.
Well, it seems that all this new version of the stories are actually heading to